Good evening, one and all. Here we are again with another OYG session to learn and to share knowledge. Here we have a physician, Dr. Aparna Chaturvedi, who is a yoga and naturopathy physician at Arogya Kendra Bhairagar, Bhopal. She's going to talk about the management of psoriasis through naturopathy. She is a BNYS graduate from SHMC NYS, Bhopal. She is young and dynamic physician with deep-rooted belief in self-healing capabilities of human body and role of nature in it. She firmly believes that the right care of the individual is the first step in curing the disease. I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Aisha.
Ma'am, your voice is not audible. Hello?
Hello. Is it audible now?
It's a bit low.
Hello.
I
Audible
can
now?
hear you, but the voice is a little bit low.
Let me check. 1 second. Hello. Am I audible now? Clear?
Yeah, you are
Is my
audible.
voice clear now? Okay.
We can wait for some time or we can start the meeting.
Okay. You tell me when to start, then we'll just dive into it. Okay.
People are still joining. We'll wait for a few minutes.
Okay.
You can start, ma'am.
Hello. वॉइस क्लियर है?
हाँ, clear है.
आयशा,
जी बोलिए.
वॉइस क्लियर है? शैल वी स्टार्ट?
Yeah, we can start now. आपकी voice आ रही है clear.
Okay. So I'll just share the screen first. Okay. Hello. Hello everybody. Myself Dr. Aparna Chaturvedi. I'm a BNYS graduate. Today we'll talk about management of psoriasis through naturopathy. क्योंकि हमारे बहुत सारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स स्टूडेंट्स हैं, तो हम बेसिक से स्टार्ट करेंगे कि क्या होता है सोरियासिस से, और उसके बाद हम आगे बढ़ेंगे. किसी को कोई डाउट्स या कोई क्वेरीज हो तो चैट बॉक्स में छोड़ दीजिएगा, फिर हम उसके आगे उनको बाद में उसके बारे में बात कर लेंगे. स्टार्ट करें. तो ओके, सो व्हाट इज सोरियासिस? सोरियासिस जो है वो ग्रीक वर्ड सोरा से लिया गया है, जिसका मीनिंग होता है इचिंग। ओके, तो सोरियासिस क्या है? क्रॉनिक इम्यून मीडिएटेड इन्फ्लेमेटरी स्किन डिजीज है, जिसमें हमारी एपिडर्मल सेल्स जो हैं वो जो नॉर्मल रेट होता है उससे 5 to 6 टाइम्स ज्यादा फास्टर रेट से वो इंक्रीज हो जाता है उनका प्रोडक्शन। ठीक है, तो सोरियासिस को अगर हम बेसिक लेवल पे देखें तो वो इम्यून सिस्टम का डिसऑर्डर है। तो उसमें क्या होता है, जो हमारे वाइट ब्लड सेल्स होते हैं, टी हेल्पर सेल्स, वो ओवर एक्टिव हो जाते हैं, है ना। उनके ओवर एक्टिव होने की वजह से जो प्रोडक्शन होता है साइटोकाइंस का हमारी बॉडी के अंदर, वो स्पीड अप हो जाता है। उसकी वजह से हमारी बॉडी में इन्फ्लेमेशन देखने मिलता है, या तो स्किन में या फिर हमारे ऑर्गन्स में। तो हेल्दी स्किन में जो केराटिनोसाइट्स होते हैं वो अबाउट 1 मंथ लेते हैं, ठीक है, डिवाइड होने के लिए, मैच्योर होने के लिए और स्किन सरफेस तक आने के लिए। बट जब हमें सोरियाटिक कंडीशन होती है हमारी बॉडी में, तब ये एंटायर प्रोसेस जो है वो इतना स्पीड अप कर जाती है, तो जो 1 मंथ का टाइम होता है वो 3 to 5 डेज में कवर अप कर लेते हैं, जिसकी वजह से जो केराटिनोसाइट्स होते हैं वो जल्दी मैच्योर हो जाते हैं, और जल्दी मैच्योर होने की वजह से सिल्वरी और स्केली लुक हमें हमारी स्किन पे दिखाई देता है। जैसे कि इस फोटो में हम देखेंगे, ये जो स्किन आप देख सकते हैं, घुटनों के पास पूरा ये स्किन उनका फ्लेयर अप हुआ है, और ये सिल्वरी स्केल्स हमें देखने के लिए मिल रहे हैं।
मैम,
अब हम अगर सिम्टम्स की, हाँ जी,
एक्चुअली कुछ लोगों को एक्चुअली हिंदी उतना क्लियरली समझ में नहीं आता।
ओके ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम,
कैन यू प्लीज टॉक इन इंग्लिश, मैम?
या श्योर श्योर,
होप यू डोंट माइंड.
no, I don't mind. Since from the starting only, should we start?
Yeah, okay. As you say.
Okay, okay. I'll restart. Okay, I'll just explain this part again. Okay. In our healthy skin, keratinocytes takes about 1 month to divide, mature, migrate to skin surface. But in psoriatic condition, this process is speeding up. Okay, so it takes about 3 to 5 days to complete the time, which our normal skin takes about 1 month to complete. The which results into thickened red skin that shades silvery scales of keratinocytes that have matured before their time. Okay, just like we can see it in the picture. Here we can see the blood vessels are normal, not they are not complicated. They're simply lying under the skin surfaces. While in a psoriatic condition, they have widened and they have twisted. Okay, because of that, thick scaly epidermis has formed, which gives us the look of flakes and scaly skin structure. Coming to the symptoms, um, sorry. Okay, the most common psoriatic symptoms includes red rashes or patches all over the skin, or inflamed skins or lesions all over our body. These are silver colored scale. In severe cases, plaques can also grow into two plaques or two lesions can grow and merge together, covering the larger areas. They are itchy, painful, and sometimes they can have cracks, and while scratching or touching them, they can ooze some blood or they can bleed. Sometimes problem of psoriasis can also be seen on your fingernails, on your toenails, and this also includes discoloration and pitting. And sometimes the nails may also begin to crumble or detach from the nail bed. Okay, and one more psoriatic symptom which is very common nowadays, or which is very commonly seen, is psoriasis of scalp. Behind your ear, near the hairline, you can see the scaly flakes on the scalp. Clinical presentation. Now we can talk about the clinical presentation. The classic psoriasis case is the lesion is well defined and sharply demarcated. You can see the border around these scales here in the picture. You can see it is demarcated and it is raised. Okay, round shape or oval shape. Commonly, it is seen in a round or oval shape, and it is erythematous. Like a redness will surround it. Okay, and white and silvery scales are the main characters of psoriatic lesions. This differentiated from other lesions. Like sometimes people understand them for eczema, so we can differentiate here only. Common sites affected by psoriasis are scalp and the armpits, elbow region, trunk area, buttocks, between the buttocks, groins, or fingernails, toenails, knees. These areas are most commonly affected. The patches start to grow from these areas and they can grow into a larger patches if we do not treat it early or if we do not detect it early. Now, talking about the types of psoriasis, the first we can talk about the plague psoriasis. It is the most common psoriatic condition found. In this condition, red patches are seen all over the body, and silvery and flaky scales are
ये
common.
ब्लूटूथ भी खुला है अंशु इसमें तो पहले क्यों खोल के रखा था हैं
Aisha, can you mute please? Okay. Now coming to the nail psoriasis, it is also a kind of plague psoriasis, but you can see the psoriatic lesions on fingernails and toenails. Another type of psoriatic lesions are known as inverse psoriasis or intertriginous psoriasis. This mostly seen in folds of our skins, such as armpits, beneath the breast, and between the buttocks. One more common gutted psoriasis is also seen in children and under the age of 30. It is basically triggered by viral or bacterial infections such as strep throat, and it is pink teardrop shaped bumps. Okay, we'll see it in the picture in the next slide. Coming to pustular psoriasis, in pustular psoriasis, small lesions are seen on the body, which are filled with non-contagious fluids, and the combination of the fluid, or we can say the content in the fluid, is mostly lymph fluids and white blood cells. The last we'll talk about erythrodermic psoriasis that occurs when hello.
Can you please mute yourself?
Okay. Last one, we'll talk about erythrodermic psoriasis that occurs when entire body is covered with all the lesions, and the whole body we can clearly see the white and scaly lesions, uh, which I have already explained earlier, keratinocytes, which are matured earlier. I'll be explaining it in the next slide with the pictures. Okay, here you can see chronic plague psoriasis is mostly occurred on the knee areas, elbow areas, and just like in the picture, you can see it's white, scaly, and rough and dry patches. Gutted psoriasis is most commonly seen in children and under the age of 30. It is teardrop shaped, just like you can see the small drop of tears, just like that. And like we talked about inverse psoriasis, it is seen in the skin folds. It is shown in picture of armpit. Okay, it's an armpit of the person. And erythrodermic psoriasis is pustular psoriasis. You can see here small pustules have been formed on the person's skin, and they are filled with lymph fluids and WBCs. An example of scalp psoriasis you can see here in the hairline behind the ear. It's it's an example of scalp psoriasis. We have talked about nail psoriasis. The nail buds, you can see the nails are detaching from the nail beds here. Here you can see. And one more common psoriatic complication is psoriatic arthritis. It is not necessary that you can see the inflammation in the joints before you can actually diagnose psoriatic arthritis. Sometimes it happens earlier. Sometimes psoriatic arthritis can start before the lesions or a skin condition you can see or detect, but you'll not realize that you are having arthritic condition or joint pains because of psoriasis. Now, when we're talking about psoriasis, since we all know it's an inflammatory disease, so what are the triggers that are mainly responsible to flare it up or to cause more itching and problems in a day-to-day life? So we'll focus on that first. Here we have discussed few triggers like cold, dry weather. Even in cold, dry weather, the person with normal skin condition also feels slight itchiness or slight dryness. So you can just imagine how the person with a psoriatic condition will feel. They'll feel the urge to itch and can lead up to bleeding, and also it can cause problems for them, and they can end up feeling sad, like how it's going on, because everybody wants their skin to be perfect and look healthy, right? Second trigger is stress. Stress is the biggest trigger in the case of psoriasis, as because of stress, psoriatic lesion tends to flare up and cause more problem. And in naturopathy, we'll talk later about it, that stress management plays an important role, because of all the anxious and confusions and thinking more and more about lesions can make them grow into a chronic condition. Some medications also causes flare up or may act as trigger, like people with the problem of hypertension or heart diseases happen to take beta blockers. है ना? These beta blockers helps to create they act as a trigger in psoriatic condition. Now, coming to some infections can also be reasons for psoriatic condition, as we have talked earlier. Gutted psoriasis is most commonly caused by strep throat in young. Our tonsillitis can also be a trigger for that. Skin injuries, tiniest cuts and bruises, or burns can also cause an outbreak of psoriasis. Alcohol and smoking, yes, these two also acts as psoriatic triggers, because they interfere with the treatments, as well as they interrupt with the immune system. And since psoriasis is an autoimmune disease, it does affect it. Okay, now this was the whole short explanation about what is psoriasis. Now, coming to the main topic, that is management of psoriasis through naturopathy. Now, we all know naturopathy is a system of medicine that uses body's self vitality or innate capacity to cure the disease. Okay, we all are taught that all the diseases are caused because of our negligence towards our body. Okay, so naturopathy treats the human body as a complete unit, and the aim of naturopathic medicine is to promote the inherent power within the human body to accelerate its self-healing capacity. Today we'll be talking that to manage psoriasis, we need to use 3Ds: detoxification, dietary modification, and de-stress. I'll be explaining this part again. There are 3Ds in naturopathy: detoxification, dietary modification, and de-stress. Firstly, we'll be talking about detoxification. Okay, we all are aware that our body is only in disease condition when there is accumulation of toxins in our body. Okay, because of lowered vitality, because of negligence, it causes lowered vitality, and lowered vitality leads to abnormal composition of blood lymph, and blood lymph का abnormal composition होने की वजह से it causes the accumulation of morbid matter, again toxemia. So we can see research shows that primary cause of disease is caused by toxemia that results in the cellular breakdowns. Detoxification or detoxing our bodies is a easy resource or is very helpful for our body to function the way it should. Actually, detoxification allows our body to focus on itself and to cleanse itself and to speed up the recovery. It provides a means to our body to heal heal within itself. Okay, a body can heal itself, so we have to just provide the means to it and give it time and not to interrupt in between. So detoxification is often promoted as natural remedy that eliminates toxins from your body, improves your skin health, and reduces psoriatic symptoms. So when we're talking about detoxification, the question arises how to detoxify. So there are basically three things that you need to do or understand. In the case of psoriasis, you have to detoxify the person's body with the help of three simple things. We all have heard about Shat Kriyas, right? Shat Kriyas are basically cleansing techniques which helps our body to cleanse from within. And we'll be talking about first thing is Kunjal Kriya, also known as Vaman Dhoti. In this, it is a part of Shat Kriyas. It basically cleanses our GI system from mouth inside out. Okay, gut. It helps to clean up our upper GI system. So in Kunjal Kriya, what we do, we drink water voluntarily and then vomit it all out with the undigested food and excessive mucus lining, whichever is causing poor digestion. It helps to strengthen our digestive system, as well as it helps to create new lining or new mucus lining, which will further help in our body to what we can say, it will help our body to grow as a whole. Okay, it will give our body a time and the required amount of sources which is needed to in order to help heal itself. Next is enema. Enema is very simple process, very common in naturopathy treatments. It is cleansing of lower abdomen. Like we'll be introducing water artificially and we'll be clearing out bubbles. Because over a period of time, we eat too much. Okay, we eat 3 times a day or 4 times a day. But how many times do we evacuate? Only one time or maximum 2 times. So the residual feces stays in our body and it acts up as a morbid matter. It later on, after accumulating, it creates problem, and it is also one of the reasons which causes poor digestion, and it also leads to psoriatic flare-ups. So while detoxifying our body, first we'll clean our body from upper GI system, then we'll be cleaning through enema. Lastly, we'll be drinking enough water to flush out all the toxins, because our body needs water and we need to drink up to 2 to 3 liter water daily to flush out all the toxins. Second thing is diet. We have talked about 3Ds. First is detoxification. Second thing is diet. Diet plays a very important role in treating psoriasis, because diet is the means how we it gives us a mean what we have to provide our body naturally to heal itself, to speed its recovery. So we can talk as we can see here, fruits and vegetable. Almost all inflammatory diets includes fruits and vegetable, because they are rich in antioxidants and they decreases oxidative stress and inflammation. since psoriasis is an inflammatory disease, we need to have anti-inflammatory food on a daily basis for a required period of time, and hence a diet which is high in fruits and vegetables is recommended. So what we can eat, we can add broccoli, cauliflowers, Brussels sprouts in our daily diet. We can eat leafy greens such as spinach, kale, and we can add berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. We can add grapes. Grapes juice also helps our body to heal psoriasis, so it's an important food, which we fruit or food which we should include in our diet. Antioxidant rich diet, like vitamin C, vitamin E, and beta carotenes shows effective results in psoriasis. There has been very many studies which shows that people consuming more antioxidant rich diet and anti-inflammatory diets tends to treat psoriasis faster than those who are not consuming it on a regular basis. Next, we'll talk about heart healthy oils. Certain vegetable oils also contains anti-inflammatory fatty acids. It's important to focus on oils that are higher ratio of omega 3 rather than omega 6 fatty acids, because omega 3 is, we can say, it's more healing or heal helping. So we can give examples of oils like olive oil, coconut oil, flaxseed oil. These can help one person to grow, to help speedy recovery in psoriasis. Next, we'll talk about calorie diet. Actually, there are many researches over calorie diet. I'll be sharing one. There is a study published in JAMA Dermatology. What they did, they gave low calorie diet to people with psoriasis for 8 weeks. Okay, after 8 weeks, the results were like this. Not only they shed off their excessive weight, but the psoriatic lesions also decreases. Like, there was an improvement in the lesions, they were healing. And researchers speculated that people who have obesity experiences more inflammation in the body, making psoriasis worse. Okay, so low calorie diet will also help you treat psoriasis, as well as it will help you lose weight. The main thing about psoriasis is, diet with psoriasis, is that we have to look out for the foods which can trigger psoriasis. So we have to avoid them on all costs. Gluten-free diet has been proved very effective. People with psoriasis have been found to have increased markers for gluten sensitivity. So when we remove gluten from their diet, it results in very nice or positive way. They tends to start heal faster rather than people who are having gluten in their diets. So when we remove gluten from diet, we have to totally remove wheat and wheat derivatives, barley, malt, pasta, noodles, baked goods, processed food, and condiments, beer, and malt beverages. Second thing that we have to look out for is processed foods, because eating too many processed foods or high calorie foods can lead to the chronic condition of psoriasis, and which may be linked to psoriatic flare ups. So what we have to avoid all the packaged foods, junk foods, canned fruits. Go for local market or fresh fruits rather than going for canned juices and packed fruits. And anything with more sugar, salt, you have to avoid. These are we can say white poisons: excessive sugar and salt. Next is nightshades. Actually, nightshades, plants are, they contain solanine, and solanine increases the psoriatic lesions, and sometimes it flares it up, or it acts in trigger. So to avoid that, we have to remove tomatoes, potatoes, eggplants, also commonly known as brinjal, and peppers from our diet. Again, coming back to naturopathy, you have to avoid dairy and meat, because both red meat and dairy contains polyunsaturated fatty acids, uh, which actually plays a major role in creating more lesions. So to avoid the you know more lesions, or to stop the growth of psoriatic lesions, you have to avoid meat and dairy products. Lastly, we have talked about alcohol earlier also. Since autoimmune flare-ups are linked to health to immune system, alcohol is believed to be a psoriasis trigger, because it disrupts the various pathways of immune system. And since it is an autoimmune disease, it actually correlates with disruption of immune pathway. So it leads to flare-ups. Again, acts as an trigger. Now coming to the third part, that is de-stress. We all know, and I have talked about stress, that it acts as an trigger for psoriasis, because people with psoriasis tend to contain to themselves. They tend to isolate themselves because of feeling that their skin is not perfect. They are shy, they avoid meeting with people, and sometimes they are also sad because the treatments are not working on them, and they feel like complete failure sometimes. So all of this might create an effect on their mind, which again can create the stress, and which again can flare up the psoriatic lesions or psoriatic condition. So it is very very important to help the people with psoriasis, to ask them, to help them psychologically, to give them psychological support. We have to tell them that they'll be better sooner or later, and we have to help them to have faith in the pathy, because as we all know, naturopathy principle says that if we don't have the faith in the pathy, it will not work on you. So they need to have faith in the pathy. Now coming to management of stress, we can go for relaxation techniques, just like deep breathing, box breathing. These helps one person to deviate their mind from negative thoughts towards the positivity, and to not think about the conditions which are causing stress to them. You can also go for meditation, omkara meditation, or they can think about something positive. You can give them positive words to talk again and again, tell themselves to, they'll be better in future. They'll get better, and they can do it, like that. Long walks can also play an important role, since one person avoids, when people with psoriasis avoids to meet with other people, they tend to lock themselves inside the rooms. So long walks can give them a change of scenery, and can make them feel refresh, and they can actually make them feel better. Regular yogasanas and sattvic diet are the combination that reduces the severity of psoriasis, because yogasanas again can help you increase your immunity, and will again distract your mind from the negative thoughts, and it will give you energy. It will increase your energy levels. Okay. So regular yogasanas, they can perform any asanas regarding, like if they are not having severe or chronic psoriasis, you can give them few yogasanas. You can ask them to do surya namaskaras. You can ask them to do some concentrating or balancing asanas, like Vrakshasana. And you can and with the people with chronic psoriasis, you can ask them to do sukshma vyayamas. They will all That will also change their thinking process, and they'll feel more positive and active, because they'll be participating in life. Okay. Sattvic diet is again a diet with minimal and raw diet. Minimal foods, like they'll not be using oils, they'll not be using pepper, they'll not be using salt or sugar. So sattvic diet again helps, works as anti-inflammatory diet. Again, coming to massage therapy, we see that massage, we cannot give massage to people with psoriasis and chronic psoriasis, because it will inflame the lesions. But a light massage or a light therapy, light slight stroking movements can be given with camphor oil. Sorry, can be given with camphor oil, as it will reduce the psoriatic lesions and it will help to avoid the dryness, and some moisturizer जैसे work करेगा. We can also give them a combination of rose water and glycerine to apply on the lesions in order to avoid the dryness. Next thing is, we have to ask them to have adequate sleep, because sleep deprivation can worsen the condition in psoriatic patients, right? They have to go for like 7 to 9 hours sleep every night in order to give their body time to heal properly, to actually work on itself. And sleep can also make them, if they sleep properly, they'll feel more energetic next day. Coming to pranayamas, Chandra Bhedna, Chandra Anlom Vilom, Sheetali, and Seetkari results into a better option for psoriatic patients, because patients with psoriasis tends to develop heat imbalance in their body. So when we go for cooling pranayamas, they actually removes the excessive heat from the body, and they cools the body, clears the excess heat. Again, I have talked about it. They kindles the digestive fire, which again, poor digestion is also a cause for psoriasis. They soothes inflammatory skin conditions. So inflammatory lesions of psoriasis can be related with this. And again, cooling pranayamas leads to calm and composed mind, which gives mental tranquility again. And the last thing is, it enhances immunity. One most important treatment on naturopathy is starch fortified turmeric bath. There is a study on the starch fortified turmeric bath by Dr. Praveen M.K. Nair. He has explained in his studies, and we have also used this on our patients. I have worked with my senior doctor, Dr. Varsha Nathani, and Arogya Kendra, and I have personally seen the effect of starch fortified turmeric bath on patient with psoriasis. Actually, what we do in this starch fortified turmeric pack or bath is, we use chawal ka maad, or we can say ganji. Most commonly, common words for starch fortified is ganji or chawal ka maad. We mix it with turmeric, and both the starch fortified water and turmeric acts as medicine, or longer, you can say it actually helps to heal the lesions. We'll be talking about it later on. First, I'll be telling you what actually is starch fortified turmeric pack. So what we do, we add 2 cups of water to 1 cup of rice, cook until it softens, then make a paste out of it. And in that, we'll add little bit of turmeric. It should be into 2:1 ratio. Okay, the rice water should be about 2 part, and turmeric should be 1 part. And after making this paste, we have to apply it on the lesions of the person, and we have to keep it for 40 minutes. Okay, now we'll be talking about what SFTBs are. So studies has shown that clinical significance of starch fortified turmeric bath in person with psoriasis, as it reduces inflammation and alleviates the psoriatic symptoms. turmeric contains actually its properties of antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. So it actually inhibits the ultraviolet induction of secretion of interleukin 6 and interleukin 8, and exerts a favorable effect on psoriasis linked inflammation. So it is used as anti-psoriatic compound in the treatment in naturopathy. And again, on the other hand, rice starch has been reported to improve healing capacity of damaged skin. We use it to, treat ectopic dermatitis and some other skin diseases. So when we combine both of these together, they act as a great medicine. We can use it as a substitute of puva, which we cannot use for a longer duration in allopathic medicine or radiation therapies, which we use to treat psoriasis. So we'll be seeing some results. I have shared. Wait a minute. This was the case report I'm sharing with you guys. This was a patient, 58-year-old male patient, diagnosed with psoriasis, as he had a complaint of red patches and itching on his hands and forearms. He was suffering from it since last 4 years, and these are the lesions. After giving him a proper fasting combination of fasting and anti-inflammatory diet, along with the treatments like gastrohepatic pack and mud bath and light massage, and again starch fortified turmeric bath, we have seen a significant reduction in his psoriatic conditions. You can see before he was having yeah, all the lesions on his fingers. You can see there are cracks also, and you can clearly, it is clearly visible. After the treatment for 1 month, the condition which he was facing for last 4 years has reduced, and he was able to actually look himself in a very happy mode, and he was very happy after that. You can see this, how much reduction in the lesions is there. Yeah, all the forearm, forearm is filled with these lesions, and later on it has been cleared, it has been reduced. He is still under the treatment. It will take time, but definitely will help him heal. Thank you. Any questions, any queries, Aisha?
If you have any queries, you can ask in the chat box or unmute yourself.
Okay.
There is a question in the chat box, ma'am.
Yes, I'm looking at it. It is from Priyanka Solanki. Is there any external application which will help in reducing itching? Yes, you can apply camphor oil on the lesions. It will definitely help to reduce itching for time being. Or you can directly apply rice water, fortified rice starch. So that will also cool off the heating effect and itching effect. Anything else? Anybody? No questions? Over to you, Aisha.
Ma'am, it was a great presentation. Thank you so much. Yeah, there's one more question here.
What about the psoriasis in the scalp? Application of starch fortified turmeric pack, as well as you can apply camphorol at that also. Sometimes if you're feeling more inflammation, you can apply neem paste. You can just make a paste out of neem leaves and just simply apply there, and it will help with the itching. Okay.
It was really great to see you here, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving your time.
Thank you, Aisha.
And there's one more question over here. Why tomato and potato avoid for psoriasis?
They have selenium in that. Okay, and that element actually acts as a trigger for inflammation. That's why we have to avoid it.
Is there questions coming up here? Can we wait for
Okay,
some?
yeah, sure, no problem. We can wait.
Any more questions, guys? Yeah, one more here.
Yes, we can put patient on fast, but under strict guidance. We can give them a fasting for like a period of 10 days, not more than that, because we need to give body a time to heal as well as work on it. So yes, we can definitely put the patient on fasting. Can condition be sustainable affects the body internally? Psoriasis is not commonly seen around eyes, but yes, it can be severe to affect the internal body, but not completely. Before occurring to reaching to the organs, it actually shows up on the skin. It is a skin disease, so one can easily detect it and one can see it. So it is treatable and it can be treated. So no, it will not affect full body internally, but yes, it can be severe. We have seen erythromatic condition on which whole body is covered with the scales. So that is a severe condition for psoriasis. Thank you, Priyanka. Any other questions? Why pepper is also avoided? Because pepper is also part of nightshades, so it also contains solanine. That's why we have to avoid all the nightshade foods that contains tomatoes, potatoes, brinjal, and peppers. Okay, Atalakshmi.
I
You can
think
say
that
pepper is inflammatory. Okay, that okay. Thank you.
we hope to see you again with another topic, ma'am. It was really great.
Okay,
Thank you so
thank
much.
you, thank you. Okay, bye.
Bye bye.